Seated side bend. Sitting on the edge of your bed, arms relaxed on either side of you. Gaze at your hand, inhale, and glide your left arm over your head. Follow it as a guide to guard you from tilting too far. Become aware of your lengthening lower back and pelvis while improving rib cage mobility and the expansiveness of the lungs, which makes breathing easier. Seated pigeon. Sitting sturdy on the edge of your bed, place your left ankle on the top of your right knee. Keep your back sharp and begin to lean forward at the waist. Place your hand on your left knee and gently but firmly press away from your face. Stay balanced and aligned before ever going deeper into a stretch. Let your breath guide the extra stretch. Bend the left knee to come out of the stretch, taking a moment to relax. Bend the right knee and carefully place your right ankle on the top of your right knee. Lean forward and gently but firmly press into your right knee. Become aware of your opening hip joints, relieving sciatica pain. By stabilizing the pelvis, it removes overnight built-up tension in the sacral area. Modified windmill. With feet spread apart, bend forward at the waist, sinking back into the stretch. Engage your abdominal muscles. Inhale and lift your right hand over your head. Follow it as a guide to guard you from twisting too far. Flowing from the right to the left soothes pregnancy aches and pains of the lower back and into the hips, while also waking up your neck, chest, biceps, hamstrings, and calf muscles. Let your pelvis swing out, untucking your tailbone, making sure to engage your abs to protect your spine and linea alba tissue. Open up hips, deep stretch. Place your hands on a flat surface. With strong arms, sink back into your hips past your heels. Now becoming aware of your hamstrings. Carefully shift your pelvis to your right leg and shift to your left leg while continuing to sink back past your heels. Become aware of your spine and let the gravity of your belly do the stretching. Gliding back and forth, loosening up the pelvic floor, groin, hamstrings, lateral thighs, and the psoas muscle. Mobilizing the deep hip muscles and ligaments that may be tight from improperly sitting for long periods of time. Modified prayer stretch. Start with your knees on the ground. While you reach forward with your hands, sit backwards as close to your feet as possible. Open your shoulders by popping your wrists and leaning into one side and then to the other. Keeping your head aligned with your spine and keeping your hands and knees stationed. Become aware of the lengthening of the largest, broadest muscle of the back, while improving your lower back range of motion. The Malasana squat. Slowly allow your body into a squatting position. Hold the edge of the bed as a guide. When positioned, place your elbows gently between your knees for a light tension and bring hands together. Extend out of the lower back while drawing your shoulder blades towards one another to open up the chest. As you inhale and exhale, become aware of your lengthening pelvic floor opening hips and groin while waking up your ankles, hamstrings, and back. Psoas release. Engage the abdominal muscles to stack the torso over the pelvis. Rest one hand on the edge of your bed and one on your thigh as you draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Sink your sits bones down towards the floor and keep the lumbar spine long. Releasing this deep pelvic muscle can unravel a torqued and tensed lower back, as it is connected to your hip joint and 3 points around the sacral area. Become aware of your stretching hip joint as you inhale and exhale. Counter the tightness we create when sitting in chairs and driving cars. It's always a good idea to consult with your care provider before starting any exercise program when you're expecting. Your doctor may have certain restrictions for you, especially if you are at risk for preterm labor or have placenta previa, high blood pressure, or were prescribed bed rest. TMJ release. Clench your molars and locate the big muscles for chewing. Then relax your jaw and press 2 fingers into the big jaw muscles and hold. A tight jaw is a tight pelvic floor. Neck stretch. Lift your chin higher than the back of your skull, then come back to center. Turn your chin to the right, then bring back to center, then turn your chin to the left and repeat. Lower your chin, lifting the back of your skull and turning to your right, then center, and repeat for left side. This helps balance an overstretched neck developed from long periods of looking down habits. Behind the back hand clasp. With ribs down and over hips, gently swing your arms behind you. Clasp your hands together and straighten your arms. Become aware of your inner shoulder blades moving deeper into your back. Thoracic extensions can improve lower back and neck pain contributed by slouched postures. Calf hamstring stretch. Step the ball of your foot onto a rolled towel or edge of your bed. Make sure your heel is grounded on the floor. Stand straight, but with a slight bend in the knees. This relieves and prevents leg cramps while also gives length to your hamstrings so your sacrum and buttocks muscles are more mobile. Pelvic tilt. Start with your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Focus on your lower back. Lift your lower back, then flatten your back again. Your back goes from straight to then arches up. This stretch loosens the hips and releases the sacrum, which relaxes the lower back and soothes an achy back at the end of a long day, especially helpful if you sit with poor posture for long periods of time. Belly pumps and diaphragmatic breathing. With ribs over hips, take a deep diaphragm breath, as if widening the back of your rib cage. Then exhale and hug your baby by pumping your side transverse abdominal muscles. This safely strengthens your core and pelvic floor while also improving digestion. End with a few diaphragm breaths to slow the mind, de-stress, and expel built-up toxins for a better night's sleep during pregnancy. Modified open knee chest. Place your forearms and knees on the bed, knees about hip width apart. Then aligning shoulders up over elbows, rest your head on your arms. Being careful to not rib flare, sink into the stretch. This stretch potentially allows baby to get into a good head down position for the night by untwisting any lower uterine ligaments that may be developed by twisted posture habits, such as crossing your legs. Coming out of this stretch, align your body into an upright kneel to allow those temporarily lengthened ligaments to set the uterus in alignment with the pelvis. In late pregnancy, with a head down baby, do engagement activities first, like the side lying release. And remember, balance before gravity. because you don't want to do an open knee chest when an already head down baby is not engaged and floating high, or if you have an abundance of amniotic fluid or loose abdominal tone, which could all risk the baby flipping breech. It's always a good idea to consult with your care provider before starting any exercise program when you're expecting. Your doctor may have certain restrictions for you, especially if you are at risk for preterm labor or have placenta previa, high blood pressure, or were prescribed bed rest.